G'day viewers, Jeff from McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. Today I want to talk about personal health issues which can affect running of your business. Over the last 35 years and prior to that my aviation days, which were very noisy, and also farm life with machinery, I had to go to the ear specialist the other week and be fitted with a hearing aid as my hearing on my right side has deteriorated to over, I think I've lost about 70-75%. A lot of it's because I didn't pay attention to earmuffs, to ear protection. I, in the early starts of my business, had the petrol whipper stipper up around my ear doing vertical edging, hour after hour each day, and as a consequence it's caught up with me. Now, yes, it was stupid, but you've got to remember from our era, back in the 60s, the doctors used to recommend smoking to, picks up stress problems. So that's how stupid we were back then. But I did wear earmuffs in the later stages of the business, of course, the majority of it, of course. But I probably should have paid more attention to quality earmuffs, not just ear pods or ear plugs that still don't take enough sound out. The specialist said to me anything over 70 to 75 decibels can lead to permanent ear damage, and that's what's happened to me. It's really awkward because you've got the telly roaring and Mrs. nagging, turn that bloody telly down, or the grandkids are talking to you and you can't understand what they're saying and ask them to repeat. And more frustrating is when you're talking to customers, they're explaining what they want to be done and you're sort of really concentrating and turning your ear and saying, what did you say again, and oh look, since having this aid, even though it's a mechanical sound, it's not true, but it's pretty close. I can hear the birds calling, the television's turned down, I can hear the grandkids laughing in the background, the customers I can understand quite clearly, and it's really a godsend to have. Now, my left ear is down as well, but not as bad, but it will deteriorate over time. Now, had I started and paid particular attention to hearing, I wouldn't have been in this position, maybe. So what I'm trying to get across to everybody, especially starting out, buy the best possible quality ear protection that you can. Now, whether you use plugs and earmuffs or, I use earmuffs which are Bluetooth connected to my phone so I can listen to podcasts or listen to the radio or listen to some music. And the earphones control the amount of loudness that it's allowed into your ear. As I say, the best quality you can buy if you can. So, yep, I'm an old bugger, so my hearing, it's an advantage actually, because night time if the good wife's nagging, I can just turn it down. Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I hope she's not listening. But anyway, just be careful with the hearing. Now, other health aspects that we need to really pay particular attention is our skin cancers. I've had a majority of those over the years. I've always worn a hat. Coming from the farm, we always wore wide brim hats, but I've always had short sleeve shirts. And the biggest thing with mowing is that your back of your hands face the elements all day long, and that's where you get a lot of the skin cancers. Every year I go for my checkup, I get a full scan, and fortunately I just had a few little benign sort of little things that they burnt off, but nothing too serious. But it's something that you need to monitor on a regular basis, especially in the Australian outdoors and anywhere around the world. The rays of the sun are becoming stronger, becoming more deadly, and it's something, some guys, it depends on your skin pigments. Some guys wear long sleeve shirts, gloves, cover yourself up pretty, but it's very hard to, you're in the elements all day, so it's just pay particular attention. As my doctor said, look, you've got to go out and work, you've got to be out in the elements. It's all right to say don't go out in the worst time of the day, but you have to because you've got to work. So all you can do is make sure you check yourself over on a regular basis and then take appropriate action. Another thing that I've been fortunate is the joints. We can walk 30 to 40 kilometres a day in our busy season mowing, especially if you're just mowing. And the wear and tear over all those years, I've been going over 35 years of walking those sort of distances, and it's a big strain on your knees, on your hips and your ankles. I take a turmeric, which is because I have a little bit of arthritis in the joints because of all the wear and tear. That does help a lot. Again, advice from my doctor, always getting that checked over, scans from time to time. With the ankles, I wear high boots. I like to have my ankles, my ankles secure. Shoes is fine, but I find having a boot that goes over my ankle and it's strapped up nice and tight, because you're always walking on uneven ground when you're guarding, and it's easy to roll an ankle, and when you do it, it really hurts. Steel cap boots, of course, to save the toes. Now, I see a lot of guarders that are just running around with runners on and operating machinery, mowers, blades. You know, the steel cap boots, I've been saved so many times from dropping secateurs or shears, you know, or dropping heavy things on my feet accidentally. Having the steel cap boots, it just saves your, or saves a lot of pain, put it that way. And just the last thing, probably, look, there's a lot of health issues, and especially when you get over your 40s and your 50s, you should have that annual checkup from the doctor, your blood pressures and all those sort of things. And he's the one that you got to develop that relationship like you do the customer. Keep that going, and do that regular, and listen. The last thing is the mental health aspect. I've lost a few, and I lost one the other day from took his own life. Things got a bit too much for him. He got to a stage where he was starting to doubt himself, and he's running a very successful business, doing really, really well, but had the self-doubts and unfortunately left his family behind. So the mental health, it's nothing to laugh at. It's something you should talk to your GP about if you have problems, or because it is a lonely job. Like, let's face it, you're out, some days I might be weeks on end where I don't talk to anyone. I'll come home and I'll talk to my wife or my grandkids, but during the day I mightn't see customers, and it's lovely to have it that way, because you're in, you're out, you've done the garden, you're gone. But gee, it's nice when you do have a bit of a chat to somebody now and again, but you can go a long time without talking to anyone, and then you start overthinking things, and it can, you need to then reset. I think with this whole business, like it's a journey. I've made it a journey. Like, there's guys that'll get out there and they'll bust their butts and they'll make big money, 2 or 3 years, and they're out, they're finished. They're just absolutely exhausted, can't do anymore. So I've taken the other attitude of doing the long journey, pacing myself, and the most important is reset, so that I get to a stage where I get tired. I thought, right, I'm going to take the next 3 days off. I don't care, I'm just going to reschedule. The customers can wait. I just need to reschedule, I need to reset, and then just go from there. And of course, outside of the businesses, have activities outside the business. I like my photography, and play a bit of music, play with the grandchildren. We go up the farm and do, get up there and muck around up the farm. So it's something you should look at outside of your own running of the business. Just my perspective on matters about the health, because I reckon if you haven't got the health, you haven't got a business. And a lot of us, my followers on YouTube, we're a one-man show. Like, obviously, if you've got if you've got employees, well, that's gonna add a lot more stress to you too. But as a solo operator, it's a credit to everyone that gets through all this, and especially when they go the long journey. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and welcome to any comments. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.